How are you guys doing? Well, I have a little treat for you, and I'm still going to do the Bible code about our planet. But Spirit told me to do an archon identification. Hi, how are you? I hope it works. Please, 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 I hope it works. Okay. Hi. Let's see. How you doing? I'm very good. I had to pray to God that the stream works because I got a treat for you. Huh? Hello, how are you? Evolving Love, Deca, Gould, De La Luna, Winter Wieswick. Good evening from California. Mama Hamilton 87. I love you and I'm considering your suggestion. Uh, Kitchen, oh, I love you more. Jamal Howard, Vi Nation. A lot of you wanted to know what star systems you come from. A lot of you wanted to know, like for example, I have Myra who wanted to know about the Native Americans and where they come from and why they are a different color than those that may live in the same continent that is clearly different from them. So I got the download for that. Where do black people come from? Where do white people come from? There is an answer. There is an answer. It's a complex question to answer because in order to give you an accurate answer, we have to go backwards in time during the age of Lemuria, in which man experienced a descent. And this descent from spiritual home, because it wasn't that we lost spirit, but we did lose our spiritual home. The story of Adam and Eve in the Bible talks about God taking Adam and Eve out of the garden and putting coats of skin, carbon matter, and putting them on earth. This is what's called the Great Descent. Adam and Eve still had spirit, and they were magical, but they were removed from their home, which was the spiritual realm, and they had no carbon matter. Saturn came in and took them. He made coats of skin, which is the beginning of carbon matter, and then put them down here. The church calls this the fall of man. The church gives it a negative connotation, but it is not negative. Even though in the story of Adam and Eve, Jehovah gets angry at Adam and on Eve and curses the woman to in sorrow. Again, Saturn, in sorrow you will bear children, and for man, through the sweat of your brow you shall eat all the days of your life until you go back to dust. So Saturn was not very nice and kind, even from the beginning. For really made it difficult. So we are God in human form. So let me tell you the real deal here. We started out as virgin spirits. Now, what is virgin spirits? Virgin, there's different categories of spirits, and it was Saturn is Jehovah, Yahweh, or El Sadat. You know, there's many names to Jehovah, many names, and each name has a different function of Jehovah. The one that's used in the Jewish Torah and in the Christian Bible is Jehovah, Jehovah in Hebrew. But if you know, I already told you what the name Jehovah means. It means God of destruction. That is what Jehovah means. Now, there is a polarity to Jehovah, which is Jeshua, or Jeshua, which is the positive polarity of Jehovah. And we don't hear much about the good, positive polarity of Jehovah. In fact, we don't see the name Jeshua attributed to Jehovah as a polarity anywhere in the Christian Bible. But it is present in the sacred Jewish text of the, but it is present in the sacred Hebrew text of the Talmud, the Torah, or the Zohar, which is the Book of Splendor. These are very sacred texts of the Jewish tradition. Now, getting back to the different categories of spirits. Is the chat working? Somebody say something or write something, because the screen keeps going in and out, in and out. Is this working? De La Luna, thank you. Well, you know, upper echelon, you said something important. You said Jehovah has been arrested and Enki has returned. Not yet, my friend. Upper echelon, not yet. This has not happened yet. In the book of Revelation, it speaks about Saturn being taken and cast down and thrown to the bottomless pit. And tears and sadness will be wiped off from people's faces, because the misery of mankind is caused by Saturn, Satan. They didn't make a mistake about labeling it that. Throughout the entire human history, even though Saturn is the great teacher, he also teaches by bringing great sorrow. And in the book of Revelation, it does talk about the upper gods finally taking a hold of Saturn. Okay, bitch, you have caused enough misery and pain to these humans. I'm going to wipe their tears and put smiles on their faces. And I'm going to take you and throw you to the bottomless pit, where you shall be held prison for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years, you can come back out. It's in Revelation. Now, what this pit is the black hole, which we have in our own galaxy. At some point, our solar system will be destroyed. That's what the book of Revelation is all about. So the planet, and don't forget that Saturn is an outer planet, along with Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. They're going to go first into the black hole. then Saturn. And the reign of Saturn will be over. And another god, symbolized by another planet, will rule the next coming epoch. So this is not new. Nothing is new under the sun. All has been here before. I always keep saying that. If we go back to Lemuria, we're going back, okay, Rover T D says, does that mean that being we live in will die? Well, I don't understand the sentence. Does that mean the being we live in will die? The being, do you mean Saturn? Hi, Amanda. Isis M. Hello, how are you? Does that mean, well, the sun, eventually the ruling gods of our solar system will be replaced by other gods. Our entire backdrop of space will be changed. And like it does say in the Bible, there will be a new heaven and a new earth. If we go back to the time of Lemuria, do you think that the earth looked the same as it does today? Do you believe that the stars and constellations that we see today were there in the days of Lemuria? Was our earth even a globe? Or was it flat? See, everything evolves. Our earth did not just poof, came out with a perfect circle with atmosphere and water. All that had to evolve over hundreds of millions of years, billions of years in evolution. And I will be talking about that at some point today. And I have illustrations too. Hello, Cosmic Dreamer. Mason, how are you? And happy Virgo season. It is a time of education, great intellect, and sensuality. Don't forget, we're Earth. So we're sensual, and it comes across in everything we do. And of course, Virgo rules money. So that, just wonderful. And of course, don't forget that Virgo rules the feminine, the woman. It's funny, Cancer is the sign of the woman, right? The matriarch. All that is feminine. But yet the symbol for Cancer is the crab. And isn't it interesting that Virgo represents the woman? Because in the zodiac, the woman belongs to Virgo. It should be Cancer, but it's Virgo. Because Virgo is probably one of the most feminine signs in the zodiac, which is why the symbol for Virgo is a woman, a full, complete woman. And for a man, a full, complete, sexy, muscular man is Aquarius. So the power of Virgo, both men and women, it lies in the power of the feminine, which is why the ancients gave, not Cancer, but Virgo, the symbol of the woman, and a beautiful woman, because some of the most attractive signs in the zodiac are Virgos and Aquarians and Gemini. And this beauty that is born from within does have a spiritual significance. Okay, so Isis, you have a Virgo, you're Virgo, and you have a Pisces sister. That's the polarity, the harlot, the whore, which means that Virgos can be quite on the low. Okay, Oh, Cosmic Dreamer, your birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday. Well, then I will give you a reading for your birthday tomorrow. I absolutely will. You make sure you call me because I don't have your number and I'll give you a birthday reading. Fatima Fernandez, how are you? Guys, please donate tonight. It will come in handy, and I'm going to be doing plenty of occult tonight that the internet is working. Okay, but Virgo's always inspired. Thank you. And tour juncture. Yes. Oh yeah, great hair. That's why when I cut my hair, I was almost in tears. I was literally in tears when I cut my hair. Virgos love their hair, men or women. But I did it as a sacrifice. Okay, Vibe Nation, Cancer Sun, Aquarius Moon, Virgo Rising. Oh, goddamn. Vibe Nation, really? That's great. Oh my God. Upper Echelon. What is the mythology between Virgo and Leo? That's a good one. Virgo assists Leo in his self-development. And Leo chooses Virgo to be the second in command of the great empires established by Leo. It is the best friend that a Leo can ever have and trust. This is the mythology of Leo and Virgo. As a Virgo, I have lots of Leo friends that hold me in high honor and high regard. They listen to nobody, not even their own parents, not even their own wives or husbands, but they'll listen to me as a Virgo. It's almost like Dr. Spock and Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk is Leo and Dr. Spock is Virgo. And even though Captain Kirk is the captain of the ship, he is vulnerable without Mr. Spock, who provides the intellect, wisdom, and guidance. Because that's what Virgos do. So that's the mythology of Virgo and Leo. Is that of a powerful friendship. Daughter of Divine, hey, how are you? Kaylin April, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Exotic Bliss, yes, thank you so much for the super chat. But really, I beg you to please donate in ZELLE 281-690-8825 or Cash App because I get the money right away. That $10, I'll probably get three of those $3 of that 10, and it'll be in 3 months. YouTube is fierce, but I love you just the same for that, though. I really do. Thank you so much. We have Sabrina. Sabrina, the Pisces Queen. Oh, I love that. Hey, Uncle, I hope you are doing well. I am. I really am doing well. I really feel good. Upper Echelon. Thank you, and make sure to bag the Virgo that comes to my work. You'll be able, listen, the Virgo man loves to get bagged by any hot woman or man. So I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to get him real good. Just bat your eyes and show interest, and the Virgo will melt right in your hands. The Virgo woman is a little bit more difficult to catch. But once you get her, it's a delight because the opposite polarity is Pisces. I hope you see my videos on the Virgo woman. The Virgo girl is something else. I miss those videos. I should have been a psychologist. I've always wanted to be a psychologist because I understand women quite well. Again, the Virgo symbol is the woman. And as someone who sleeps with women and with men and can connect to the inner feminine of men or the masculine of women, it's very telling. It's very telling. You learn a lot. Not just about the individual people that you have sex with, but also as a race, are the mysteries and complexities of the human ego and personality. Now, don't forget that Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury has no mythology. We don't know anything about Mercury. Mercury appeared all of a sudden in a spring lotus. And every mythology here comes out of nowhere. This is what rules Virgo and Gemini. So there's deep, deep, mysterious mysteries connected to Virgo and Gemini because we have no clue as to the mythology of Mercury, the trickster, which is why I don't do videos on Mercury. It's extremely hard. No real astrologer has ever done it. Some have tried it with poor results because it doesn't match. I can't even explain my own Mercury on the ascendant. Mercury, as a planet, has no atmosphere, moves very fast, and is highly unpredictable. And it has no sense of morality either, good or bad. That's why you have many Virgos that can be real decadent, in their behaviors. Or they can be quite saintly and Christ-like, pulling from Pisces, the opposite polarity. So Virgo and Pisces, along with Scorpio, are some of the most complex signs in human personality and ego. I like being Virgo. I enjoy the mystery that I bring. Okay? Chris, Fernando, you never did a Virgo and Virgo compatibility video. Yeah, I did. It's in VIMEO. It's in VIMEO, and it's highly complex. I may have to do another one too, and also Pisces. They're very difficult. Your video on Aries Mercury was very accurate. I learned so much about myself. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I'm usually in a trance when I do these videos. And the ARCHONS come in and they give me the energy and the knowledge. Don't forget, I come from Cyrus. I'm not of this planet. I'm the only one that has the courage to admit that. That's why a lot of people are uncomfortable around me, because they sense an energy that is not familiar with this planet. So it intimidates them, no? But and of course, when I do die, I shall be returning to Cyrus. No, and that sounds extraordinary, but you guys know that we are not from here. We were put here. Just go to your Bible, go to Genesis. So when I tell people, I don't tell people, I keep this to myself. The only time I ever said, because I don't talk about my home in Cyrus. I mention it sometime. Because people would think I'm crazy, or they'll try to kill me, or they're trying to kill me now, for less, for money. So if I said, oh, I'm from Cyrus, but yeah, I can describe that entire planetary system there better than any scientist. Thank you, Angel. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like Virgo understands us Gemini. Oh, we do, and we love Gemini. Oh, we love Gemini. That's our sister or our brother. I always protect and come to defense of Gemini. I feel like that Gemini is like my baby brother or my baby sister. So Virgos are highly protective of Geminis. We understand them. Remember, Virgo rules intelligence. So no one, for the exception of Aquarius, can match our intelligence. And that's another reason why we intimidate people. You were born on September 18, Sarah. I was born on September 19. Bobby Morgan. And we need that. You're not crazy. It's time to go back home anyway. Of course. But if you don't know where you come from, your ego on earth will not allow the soul to go to where you really came from. You need the knowledge to know. Knowledge is power too. But not like belief, but it paves the road. And this is what Jehovah, going back to this God that is currently ruling the earth. This is what Jehovah did. He blocked mankind from learning so he can progress. You all remember, I talked about the Tower of Babel. Didn't I tell you about the Tower of Babel? Humanity came together and we're building a tower, but that's symbolic. This tower is the genetic upgrade of our DNA. We were discovering who we were. We were banding together and we were ascending. And what did Jehovah do? Instead of celebrating, because he's the great teacher, right? What did Jehovah do? He casted man into speaking multiple languages so they don't understand each other, to slow down man's progress. He didn't knock the tower down. He struck humanity with multiple languages so they can communicate and continue to build the tower. This is Saturn. Ain't he great? This is Saturn, Satan. So Saturn is responsible for humanity's sorrow. It's in the Bible, and it's in every religious text all over the world. Even in astrology, Saturn is very, very, well, I don't want to put negative because we're living in a new age and we have to look at things from a different perspective. But let me just say that to ascend spiritually, or even in this life, regardless of spirit, to obtain happiness, you have to go through the thresholds of Saturn. And it will not be a walk in the park. Saturn is vicious. It is. The tree of life, you all seen me done videos on the tree of life. Saturn is in the pillar of severity, along with Mars, the god of war, and Mercury, the trickster. So these are not my words. This is sacred text that I'm just bringing to you and interpreting for you, so that you can read it yourself and look at it and let your heart and soul speak through you, and then you will feel its truth. Who else is here? Fatima Fernandez, the Witch of Eden. Yes, Jehovah and Saturn are the same. There are many names to Jehovah. Saturn is one of them. Okay, we have Nicholas Martinez. Hey, Uncle Fernando, do you know what being born a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction mean? I have it in Taurus in the 10th house. Ooh, the Jupiter-Saturn deals with restriction and limitation, while Jupiter deals with expansion and freedom. To have these polarities of opposites in one sign means that there's going to be a portion of your life where it's going to be prosperous, and another portion of your life that's going to be restrictive. Because it's in the 10th house, you're going to experience great leaps of success in your career, but also great falls, which represents Saturn limitation. There's going to be polarities in the economy and the people that you meet. which will resemble your father, because the 10th house rules your parents, your father in particular, while the 4th house, its opposite, represents the mother. So your father might be a bundle of contradictions, and you might also inherit them, or you may meet men in your career setting that will resemble this kind of contradictory polarity that may resemble your father. It's deep. It's deep. And then we have to see the depositor of these two planets. So you have to get a chart done for that. Cain and Abel. I have 8 cardinal planets, all Capricorn and Aries, Moon, and Libra North Node, 16 January. You're here to make an example of something. With the North Node in Libra, you're here to reach masses of people and create balance. What is it? We have to have a birth chart done to see specifically what it is. But going back to Jehovah and Lemuria and the different races. When man was descended and put on this planet, it was during the Polarian epoch, which was literally 3 trillion, not billions, but trillions of years earlier than Lemuria. Thank you, like my shirt. Thank you. Please donate. Please give. Pay my rent tomorrow. CashApp, FERNA, number 5, NDO, or ZELLE, 281-690-8825. I gotta bring at least $40 more. So help your uncle, you know I keep it real. This is the question about race is it has become a complex one. We have to go to the Bible and look at Genesis. Yes, I know. Give me a beat. I got this new tablet, and I would like to put music on, while I do this, just like before. But because I'm living in a lodge, people come in, open the doors, and I want to be aware, because not everyone is nice. You got some unsavory characters here. Hey, Virgo and Gemini are so misunderstood. We are the most hated signs. That's true, Sarah Croy. Thank you, Arthur Juncture. Sarah Croy. I know. How are you? I know. I'm fighting it now. I'm setting the groundwork, but actually, it's you guys that are gonna fight the Great War. It's you guys. Don't forget that these extraterrestrials are on their way here. You've seen that movie. What was the name of it? Inception. All the entire sky was full of spaceships, and then the guy had dreams that they were coming. Is that the name of it? And I didn't even know that they made a movie like that when I saw that movie, because you guys told me to see it. And it was exactly. In fact, some of you even said, Uncle Fernando had a dream just like this. And somebody made a fucking movie. Really? I was in shock. I sat in the TV literally trembling. It was my entire vision. And somebody in Hollywood made a movie with my full vision. You know what that means? That means that people know that this is coming. No one's going to spend millions of dollars to do a fiction movie about extraterrestrials coming here about nothing. They made this movie, and this movie was well made. And for them to make this movie lets me know that they know that this is coming. Listen, I told you, when I was in Italy and I went to the Vatican, He has a $4.5 billion observatory. If you are so against astrology, why are you having an observatory at the Vatican? What are you looking for? At Columbia University, where I went to school, they have an observatory pointing to stars. Why are you doing that? You're not a scientist. What are you trying to find? So they have the truth right in your fucking face. And you cannot go to that observatory at Columbia. It's specific people. And at the Vatican, the Pope, listen to me, the Pope is the only one that can go up there and look out into the stars. While he tells the rest of the world that that doesn't exist. He's the first motherfucker looking. He's the first motherfucker looking at those stars. You know why? Because they're waiting for their return and they're preparing. Ashley Wiltz, how are you? My 12th house is Virgo, but it has no planets. What does it mean? It means, my dear, that you're just like me, because I got Virgo in the 12th house of mystery. Deep, deep, deep mysteries. The mysteries of our planet, the cosmos, and even God. I got the sun in there, and I got Pluto and Uranus. And that explains why I have so much ancient knowledge, and I can tap into ancient knowledge because I got lots of these planets in the 12th. So the veil of God and beyond is revealed to me, and that frightened a lot of people. So you have the potential to tap into that essence. Kaylin April, how to know which planet we're from? Well, I'll tell you. But you have to have your birth chart done. So go to Cafe Astrology. It's free, and put down your coordinates, month, day, year, time of birth. You must have the time of birth. Put it in. Some of you might not use Cafe Astrology. Some of you might use other systems, softwares. But do it. If you have a planet on the ascendant, that was the last place you were before you came to Earth. Simple. If you have any planets on the ascendant, that's the planet that you were in before coming to Earth. I have Mercury on the ascendant. That's why I'm so intelligent, because I was prepared by the gods of Mercury for this life. Astro chart. Some of you, I like solar fire. I like astro chart. For those of you who are not familiar, please, Sarah Coy, let your fellow chat people, Elizabeth or Exotic Bliss, let them know, give them the link so you can go to those sites. It's free, and find out what planets are on the ascendant. If there is no planets on the ascendant, then it is the moon sign. Of course I do birth chart readings. Of course I do. Every day, any day. All right? Okay, Young Ra. Yeah, how are you? I'm a Leo rising Libra North Node. What about Mars in Pisces? Mars in Pisces is very powerful, but not to accomplish physical, mundane stuff. It's Martin Luther King had Mars in Pisces, and he uses Mars to really change the world, but to passive resistance. He didn't pick up a gun and took up arms like Malcolm X to make change. He did it through passive. Gandhi also had Mars in Pisces, and he also fought the British against India through passive resistance. But when it comes to the workings of the world, you might have a little problem in this area. Sabrina, the Pisces queen, Gemini in the 12th, yeah, you can speak all kinds of mysteries, and you might even learn some multiple languages very easily than most people. You can also get paid. You can also channel. Gemini is the sign of channeling spirits or archons. So you may have a gift for channeling. Solar Fire software is sort of expensive. I paid approximately $375 for it years ago, but I own it forever. Oh yes, it's very good. It's very good. Nicolas Martinez, yeah, you can be in Hawaii, yeah? Fernando, I just want to thank you for doing this. Believe it or not, all these years I've followed you and learned from you a lot of different than I was 5 years ago because of you. So thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. And that makes me very happy because it means that I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I know. Ooh, you got Sun Square Pluto. Ooh. Ooh. Kelly Neighbor, what is your take on fate versus choice? Fate is what you have to look at. We got freedom of choice, but to a certain degree. To a certain degree. It's not like you have choice to do anything you want. Like if you want to be a president of the United States right now, the universe won't let you. That's a choice that you cannot make because you're not here to be a president of the country. Otherwise, it would have been prepared much earlier. So the choices that we have is an illusion. That's why the birth chart is so important, because the birth chart shows the fate of your life. Through the birth chart, I can tell what kind of illness you're going to get, if you're going to survive it. I can tell the hour and the time that you will die. I know the planets involved and the degrees. You have no choice to stop that or to know that. So choice is an illusion. You were put here to do something. And regardless of the choices that you make, sooner or later, you will do what you were put here to do. And then you will die in accordance to how it was designed for you to die. And that's also in the birth chart. Lets me know if you're going to be married, to whom, for how long, how many children. All that is calculated, predestined before birth. And this is something that a lot of people find it hard to swallow because most humans like to feel in control and they don't want to believe that there is something outside of them, like a God, that is in total control of their destiny. But that is how it is. So choice is limited, and it's also one of the most greatest illusions placed on mankind. The fact that he thinks he's got choices. The choices that he thinks he has already been put as a germinal seed in his soul for him to think that way. Okay? Fear. Yes, I can read the chart for you. Reformations. And set an appointment for that, and belief is power out there, you know it. You got a 12th house stellium, okay? So do I. Please pray for me. It's intense. Thank you. Well, it's not about prayer. Yes, prayer is good. It's about understanding. You don't understand your chart, but you need a professional astrologer. to decode it for you. And then it will not be so intense or confusing or overwhelming. That's why you're having a difficult time with it. It has to be interpreted by a professional to help you navigate these energies. But they don't have to be intimidating. Don't forget, knowledge is power, and the knowledge that is belief is the ultimate power, but it doesn't stand on its own. You need the knowledge of specific things to help expand your awareness outside of the spiritual. The life path 22 KT is one of it's very difficult. That's very difficult. The 22 degree is very difficult. It puts into intense crisis of belief. David Koresh from Waco, Texas, had this type of degree. Knowledge is power. A fifth house stellium, oh God, there's a lot of actors, movie stars, singers, artists that have fifth house stelliums. The end always achieve fame. So it's just wonderful. But it comes with crisis because Leo, or the fifth house, brings crisis right along with success. And a happy marriage might be a challenge if you have a stellium in the fifth house. Going back to Jehovah and Lemuria and the differentiation of the races, okay? Because to answer that question, we have to go back in time. We have to go backwards in time and find out who came from where and why. And I have it right here. Well, first of all, when the races, and this is something that was very difficult to put together because, the church took out many information, and so did the other ruling empires of the different cultures and races, to keep man from knowing the full truth about the human identity. Okay? So, when mankind was placed on earth, which we do see in Genesis, there is like a gap that's kind of missing. And then all of a sudden, and this is in Genesis, we read about, Cain and Abel, which is an acronym for something bigger than just a man killing his brother. It was explained that way for the basic human being at the time to have an understanding. But within that basic understanding was strong cosmic principles inherent in this very simple story. Now, Cain killing Abel. Cain means can't, while Abel means capable. You see, even in the language, there's encoded deeper meanings that today we can understand and appreciate, but the basic human being back in the day did not understand. So for him to understand spiritually, things have to be broken down to very, very, very simple explanations. Now, it doesn't surprise me that it is deep, Phoenix Sun. It is deep. Because why did Cain kill Abel? And what did Jehovah do when Cain killed Abel? And Cain killed Abel because he was jealous. What did Jehovah do? Do you remember? He blessed Cain. Now, ain't that fucked up? He blessed him. Not only did he bless Cain, I think it says in the Bible, no harm shall come to Cain. He shall be blessed, and his descendants shall be blessed. No harm is to come to the tribe of the Canaanites. Oh, it's deep. It's deep. But it should not surprise you that Jehovah would do this. Because don't forget that he killed his own father. Right? Uranus, Saturn castrates Uranus. And from the genitals comes Venus. And Uranus spins off into a different axis. Because Uranus used to be upright. When that happened, it spun out of control and it sits on its sideways. Because of the castration, this is the first evidence of patricide. It's deep. It's deep. Why did Saturn do that? So if we are killers and murderers down below, it comes from the gods. If we're jealous and envious as a low vibration humans, it comes from God because he's the first one to say, do not put any idols in front of me because I am a jealous God. Well, I guess he is. Because an innocent person is killed and he blesses the enemy. But that also jumpstarts the law of polarity and duality. So it's deep. It goes deeper than just a basic story of somebody killing somebody else for no reason. It's deep. So this is why Saturn is not a nice guy, not a nice god. It's in the word Satan, Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, the devil. Well, it just gets better, doesn't it? Cain killed Abel. So it's and I need to stress that because that explains why there's so much pain and misery on this planet. Right. And then he forced Adam and Eve to work. They had to work in order to it's almost like a slave camp. There's a gap that's missing in the Bible. After Cain kills Abel and God blesses Cain, and then Cain goes out and breeds and gives rise to the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites that we learn in history. This comes from the lines of the Canaanites. And the Bible talks a lot about it, right? Understand that this is deeply complex. And it was written that way on purpose. Because from here, all of a sudden, you have the emergence of the 12 tribes. You heard me talk about it, the 12 tribes of Israel. It ain't no 12 fucking tribes of Israel. That was a corruption as we enter the Aryan epoch. Things will change around so that the new race can hold the power. That's what that's about. But if we go back, way back at the beginning, the 12 races, or the 12 tribes of Israel, was really the 12 races that came from different star systems during the age of Atlantis. Here are the constellations. You, collective, come from these stars. It's in Genesis. It's in there. It's in there. But the church doesn't show it to you. The ministers don't show it to you. The preachers won't talk about it. This is Virgo. You see the woman? See the hands, the feet? That's Virgo. Ursula, major, and Ursula, minor, which means the big bear, the little bear. In China, it's called the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. Well, I think that's Western China. They have another name for it. Okay? I just showed it to you. Just showed it to you. And the Bible talks about them. The Bible talks about them. It talks about Orion, Arcturus, the Pleiades. It mentions them. And it tells you who or what comes from these stars. It's in Genesis. So, humanity has been fucked over big time because they tell you one thing, but they put the truth right in your fucking face. And this is why I've created a lot of enemies with secret societies, cults, and even with the church, because they don't want me to tell you this. Or they don't want me to clarify this for you. And I'm like, wait a minute. Don't make me out to be the scapegoat. You have it in the Bible. So what's up? And someone called me and spoke to me from the Vatican. They're like, well, what is your motivation for explaining this? And I'm like, my motivation is that we have been fooled for too long. For too long. We now need to understand who we are as humans and where is our importance in the cosmos. Because these beings that reside here, they know everything about us. And we know shit about them. So who's at an advantage? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Mwah. I do. Thank you for helping me with donations and stuff, because that helps your uncle. Thank you. And this woman that collects the rent, she's a Cancer, and she's mean. She's mean. Even if you're missing $5, so what's my $5? I need that. Oh God, terrible. So thank you guys for helping me meet that. Okay, that's we need $30 more to complete that and shut her up. Okay. Exotic bliss. What's Uranus, Scorpio, 0 degrees? Oh, it's hard to explain that without the birth chart. It's just hard. It's just hard to explain that just like that, isolated. It has to be integrated with the rest of the chart, or I would not be doing you justice. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, she's terrible. She's terrible. I pay $130 a week. But God forbid I miss $5. No, I'll give it to you. She'll come the next day. Where's the $5? I need my money. I need to record and show it to you. Money hungry. It's just terrible. But oh, thank you, De La Luna. I love you. Thank you so much. But I got to stay here until I'm able to get into my high rise. I have an organization, Many of you may know this if you live in Houston. It's called Lords of the Streets, and it's a government organization. And the other one is Beacon, and there's another one called the Rapid Rehousing. So I put myself on the list to be placed in these in the nice housing units. Some of them are for people who are poor and don't have a job, and the government pays their rent and subsidies. But I have income, so I will need. So I fall under different category. Because of I have income, I get to be sped up faster. But it's still a waiting process. In the meantime, I live in lodges, and I'm not. There's a lot of lodges in Houston that are designed for that. No, and some of them are better than others. I think I'm one of the. I'm in one of the better ones, but that could be real worse. I know I'm waiting to be approved. It's quite a process. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Do you guys? Well, first of all, let me say this before I continue with you guys. Do you know where the black race comes from? From here that I just showed you. Do you know? January says yes. Hope it got approved soon. I hope so too. Kale and April. How how to know which star system we're from? Yes. Oh, I can tell you. I can tell you. I can tell you. It's right here. And this is part of my Uranus and Pluto in the 12th house. How do I know? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But the minute you ask the question, there's an archon, several of them, that comes inside me and they speak through me and give you the answer. That's why I tell people, it's not me. It's not me. When these archons leave, I have no memory of what was said. You guys know me for years. You've seen me go through trances, especially when I used to drink in those early years. You used to see it. A lot of you would see it. You couldn't deny it. You saw it. You saw the energies coming in and out. Know thyself. Very good. Chosen one. The black race comes from Orion and or Cyrus. I come from Cyrus. But I've been to Orion. And in Orion is where you have the emerging races that populated the earth and jump-started what will be the culture of the human race. This is why everybody hates black people and puts them down throughout history, because we are the holders of the truth. And God looks like us, and we look like God. That's why our DNA is so superior, because and it's a dominant gene. It's not a recessive gene like the white. From us comes the other races, which has given emergence to the 12 tribes. But it's not really tribe, that's a corruption. Okay, it was the 12 races of Atlantis that took hold. And the book of Genesis breaks it down into detail. Each tribe with the names. Zebulun, Asher, the Levites, Zebulun, all David, tribe of Judah. These are black races. And then you have the Pleiades. And the white people come from the Pleiades. And from Draco. Harry Potter. One of the Harry Potter movies talks about Vansendal, which was the opposing rival to Harry. You know, the white boy, the blonde. Yeah, he was the mean bat. He's a draconian. They're not lying to you about that. Because Draco is here. It's here. They put and they fight. They come from an aggressive line from these stars with archons that helps them take power and control. But that's also true of the black races and all the other races. You know, it's truly fascinating. Fascinating. And the concept of the flag, today we talk about different countries and we got flags in different countries, but it didn't start out that way. You saw Wakanda. You saw the movie Wakanda Forever. You saw the flags that they had on them. They represent the star systems. The concept of the flag was not about national identity of country. It was about star systems in which they came from. Everything has an origin. It is evil. Draco. Draconian. In fact, let me find it for you. It's a star system, a star cluster within a major constellation. Let's find it. And Draco cannot be seen in certain latitudes. I'll tell you when and where you can actually see the stars of Draco or Draconis. See? I told you in Washington, D.C., in the United States, the Washington Monument is pointing to a particular star. These are secrets right in your face. Right in your face. So when these beings get here, trust me when I tell you that our government will not be surprised. They've been waiting and expecting them. Okay. Hangar 81, and there's another hangar where they say that the extraterrestrials crashed. They didn't crash. They were brought down by the United States, and they kept them alive. Just recently, one of the aliens in Hangar 51 died because they're not of this system. They were being kept alive in secret. Ooh, you have no idea. You have no idea. And I don't think you want to know. Sometimes I don't want to know. Where is it? Where is it? I saw you, Draco. Where are you, Draco? Okay, we got which is in Virgo. You got some very powerful witches and magicians that come from Vega and get their training as magicians, and then go through Orion to come in as high priests. And this, the Bible talks about, which are the Levite priests, the tribe of Levi. Here is Orion, the hunter. He strikes the bull, right, in the constellation of Taurus. Humanity comes from here, the stars that are here. Because Orion has many stars, many star clusters. But humanity comes from here. The three stars, which represents Orion's belt and represents the three pyramids in Egypt, exactly aligned to these stars. It is magnificent. Magnificent. Now, who's this? Khadija Dingy, from Native American. What star system do I come from? And from what personality do I have? Well, for the personality, I need the birth chart. I need to do your birth chart because that's different. As far as the race, the Native American come from what's called the red people. And it was a time when Mars, the red planet, Mars, was in close proximity to the Earth. And you all saw me do videos on the Chronicles of Mars. Okay? You also have the ant people that live underneath the Earth. Now, how did the Earth become hollow? I'm going to explain that in detail and with illustrations. But they also come from different star systems. And it was at this juncture, that, which we actually really don't know, where there was a blending of the races. When that occurred, there was no differentiation of the races. It's like black people sleeping with white people. And if they have children, they're not white and they're not black, but they're brown or light skinned. And that creates a whole different hybrid of races. And that's what eventually occurred. So we can no longer classify or categorize because it's been billions, if not trillions of years since humanity has started its journey. And there has been a lot of mixing and blending and homogeneity of the races. So now it has become extremely difficult to trace the origins, at least sociologically and scientifically. The only way that this can be tapped into is by actually going about it spiritually. Absolutely, Shambhala is real. Absolutely. The Sun square Pluto, there's not much to explain, but it's very difficult. Very difficult. No, you'll come across very mean, and you could be the sweetest person on earth, but if you get the Sun square Pluto, the energy that you are going to give off will not be anything nice or kind or sweet. And you will attract people with the same type of energy. Well, of course, I know about the movie. I love it. And they tell you a lot of secret stuff too. The Chinese come from another star system as well. It's an Aryan race of people. And they were united by Qing, which actually founded the Manchu dynasty, which the country is named after him. China, Qing dynasty. And they come from another system altogether. And they refuse to blend with the other races. So they have kept more of an integrity, along with the Native Americans, than the other races. Yeah, very interesting, absolutely. And so is India. And India is far more older than the other races, for the exception of the black race, which was the first Genesis. Okay, we're going to end here because we went over an hour. And I have some more downloads. Tomorrow is Sunday. I got lots of illustrations to show you. I got a lot of good to give you. If some of you want to know where your origin is as far as the star systems, let me know, because I'll tell you. Okay. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you. Keep the donations coming, and your uncle loves you. I hope this helps somebody.